Hello everybody, it's Philly Cuts with another comic book haul, the Hump Day Haul, number 65. You know, every week where I talk to you about the comics I've purchased for the week, no big whoop, give you some thoughts and opinions. I got a question in my comment section this week from the last video, number 64, from David Alvarado, asking me about what I think about variant covers. My short answer is this. Variant covers, do they screw everything up for the rest of us? David Alvarado asks. And my opinion is, I'm going to give you the short answer here, and I'll probably do a video more extensively on the subject, you know, getting into the technicalities of variant covers and why there's only a certain number of what variant covers, blah, blah, blah. But my personal opinion on it is, you know, it's your own choice, man. It's your own willpower. Only you can ruin it for you. Meaning, do you have to let the collecting experience be ruined by your feeling, your want to have every variant cover that comes out? And that's what it is. It's a want. It's not a need. It's a want, right? We don't need to have every variant cover. We may want every variant cover. We may feel that we need every variant cover, but it certainly is not a need in the true sense of the word, like air, water, or food is. Just don't let it ruin your experience for you, man. Just get it out of your head that you need to have every variant cover, because the comic book companies are going to keep doing what they're doing. And the only way that we can show our disdain for certain practices that the comic book companies engage in is through our wallets. And I'm going to talk about that even further with this whole, you know, the Robin War crossover tie-in event that's really pissing me off, because I picked up Detective Comics number 47 this week, and it's part 3 of the Robin War. And I have no idea, you know, what the hell's going on in that story, but I digress. Don't let the variant cover thing ruin it for you. You have a choice. It's ultimately your decision. Look at Marvel Comics, right? The Star Wars number 1. Star Wars number 1 had over 100 different variant covers. Some that were exclusive to one store in like Europe, or stores in Canada. Stores across the United States got certain covers. So you would go broke trying to get those variant covers. And my rule of thumb is, my own personal rule is, I'm not going to buy multiple covers of the same issue. I haven't yet. That's a boundary that I've set with myself since I started collecting in September of last year. And I haven't crossed that boundary. Nor will I pay more than cover price for a brand new comic. So some of these variant covers that are, you know, rarer, they jack up the price. Case in point, some of those Star Wars Alex Ross, like pencil variant covers were hundreds of dollars. I think in some places they were going in excess of $400 to $500. I just think that's ludicrous, because the market on those kind of books just plummets. It plummets. And you got to resist the urge. So, Dave, I'm glad that you were able to pick up Straight Jacket number 1 for $2. Cover price, it was $4, right? But if you waited, you know, if you couldn't wait and had to go on, you know, eBay or on the internet to get that comic, you would have paid up to $100. My case in point is that a lot of these variant covers, when they first come out and everybody has, you know, that need, that feeling of need, not a, you know, it's a want, okay? It's not a need. Those variant covers are ridiculously priced, but they eventually usually plummet, like any comic. You know, I feel that comics, you shouldn't get into it for money, because you ruin the experience. Now, speaking of variant covers, and this is kind of a deal that I'm on board with, Harley Little Black Book variant covers, various DC titles this month are going to have this Black Book variant cover. They're sealed, and the variant cover is going to come in 3 different varieties. It's going to come in either a penciled version, an inked version, or a colored version. Last week I got the Green Lantern Harley Little Black book, and I ended up scoring the penciled version that I really liked. So let's see which Batman number 47 Harley variant cover I get. Now, a good idea I think for variant covers would be, why don't DC or Marvel kind of do this here, and then, you know, a sealed black bag variant cover, and you have a chance of getting those, like, rare 1 in 1,000 variant covers. How cool would that be? That would be a cool thing. And it would be nice if the comic book shops, you know, would limit it, like, 1 per customer or something like that. Okay. Oh, looks like I got another penciled variant cover. I'm not sure who did this one. It's damaged, damn it. The binding is all screwed up. But check this out. It's got Joker. Batman's got him in a death grip, and there's Harley Quinn. Looks like she's tied up. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. So another penciled variant cover. Oh well, I guess it would have been nice to get an inked one or a colored one this time, but c'est la vie, and I'm not buying another one. So that's, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, Batman number 47, the super heavy storyline continues. Part 7, super heavy in reference to Commissioner Gordon, as we all know if you're reading Batman. I don't want to run through the whole thing, but Commissioner Gordon is the Batman in a mecha suit. Hence the reference to super heavy. Batman, Bruce Wayne, the Batman, has amnesia. He kind of doesn't remember at all being Batman. However, in this issue, it has been learned that Bruce Wayne has a confrontation with Duke. He is the Robin wannabe character. He was introduced in Batman last month. He ends up having kind of a tiff with this Robin character, and traces of his Batmanness, Bruce Wayne's Batmanness, comes back. And there he is, as a matter of fact, with the baseball bat there. So he's looking quite strapping there. Kind of tight jeans as well. Looks like he's been doing some leg extensions for sure. Also in this issue, the confrontation between Mr. Bloom, who's this mysterious new villain. He kind of reminds me of a Slender Man character with creepy powers. He can kind of elongate his fingers, his very elongated fingers, and he can just poke them through back of someone's head, and it comes out through their eye. It's real creepy. And he has these strange seeds that seem to have an effect on people. Well, at the end of the last issue, Gordon, super heavy Batman, goes to confront Mr. Bloom, and lo and behold, Mr. Bloom has control of Batman's suit. That's another thing. Little bits and pieces of Batman's mecha bat suit keep getting revealed. And one of it is that Gordon doesn't have to be inside the suit for it to function. So there he is starting to do battle there with Batman. I'm sorry about the glare. My camera really isn't focusing today. I apologize for that. So they end up getting in a big battle, and Bloom ends up having an out with him as well. Now, there's a major, major occurrence in this that we all saw coming. I guess it was just a matter of when was it going to happen. Much like knowing that we all knew that Batman wasn't going to be dead, right? At the end of the Endgame series, the arc before this one, Batman and Joker fought it out to the death. Big structure collapsed down on them in this cave, and it was played off that they were dead. Obviously, we all knew that they aren't dead. I'm just gonna say it. This is what happens. It appears that Joker is back, folks. He's back, and apparently there he is. Minus the face paint, it looks like. Still has those piercing green eyes. Apparently, he has amnesia as well. So, I don't know. Like two moths drawn to a flame. The next issue is titled Best Friends Forever. And I gotta say that the Joker makes so many appearances in this new Batman, you know, in the new 52 run. Just tons of appearances. Alright, so Holy Batman continues. I got 4 different Batman titles this month, so I couldn't resist. I had to pick this up. IDW, DC Comics crossover, Batman and the Ninja Turtles. Apparently, the Ninja Turtles, along with the Foot Clan, have breached some kind of interdimensional plane, and they've ended up in Gotham. The Foot Clan apparently is stealing pieces, I believe possibly from Wayne Enterprises, to kind of build a machine that's going to bring them back. Batman catches wind of this. It is believed that the Turtles, Batman believes that the Turtles, he doesn't know they're turtles yet, are in on this, you know, theft of certain pieces. So he starts, you know, getting on the case and trailing both the Turtles and the Foot Clan. Killer Croc makes an appearance in this. For some reason, Killer Croc starts trailing Batman. Here he is there. James Tynion is the writer in this. Killer Croc starts tailing Batman with the intention of wanting to steal his Batmobile. Killer Croc has gotten word that even just small pieces of the Batmobile will fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars on the black fence market. You know, the black fencing market? The black market. You know what I mean. So I just couldn't resist, man. I mean, I don't read any Turtle stuff now. The last time that I was even into the Ninja Turtles was probably in the early 90s, or was it late 80s into the early 90s, the cartoon that they used to have. Remember you had Casey Jones with like the hockey mask and stuff, and Splinter, and you know, all the characters that I imagine are still there. So it's been quite a while for me. This looks good. I mean, the Turtles look good. They look kind of sinister. I guess Tynion's writing is on point. I've read reviews that he does the Turtles correctly, their sense of humor and whatnot. And I just couldn't resist. You know, it's kind of like one of those fantasy team-ups, right? Where you're like, imagine if, you know, so-and-so teamed up together. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. What is a crossover event that you would like to see that would be totally kind of weird and obscure? Kind of reminds me of that whole Green Lantern Star Trek crossover that I stopped buying because my comic book shop didn't have issue number 3, so I'm deciding to trade weight it. So let me know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman. And I'm telling you, that's how the issue ends, too. It's set up for Batman versus the Turtles. Okay, Robin War, all right? Robin War Part 3, Detective Comics number 47. If you read Detective Comics, you are just literally, thrown right into this story. Last issue of Detective Comics was a one-and-done, strange kind of story. The Batman teamed up, the new Batman, Mecha Bat, teamed up with the Justice League to rescue some sort of alien giant baby creature in the Himalayas, of all things. So talk about a departure from all things, you know, Gotham and Batman. It was just kind of a strange one-shot story. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was just kind of off place. So now we're thrust into the Robin War, and I have no idea what is going on in this. I didn't research this. I mean, we got Gordon here out of the Batsuit. I don't understand it, and it really pisses me off, because the Robin War, you know, this is like crossover tie-in city, okay? So I'm going to tell you what is comprised, what issues are comprised of this Robin War, and this is why, you know, when DC does this shit, it's why it pisses people off. Because when you have someone who's just buying, you know, a Detective Comics, if they start to get pulled into this Robin War, they get sucked in. And like the variant covers, ultimately it's your choice, right? You don't have to. You don't need to. But look at this. So, preceding this issue, you had to get Robin War number 1, Grayson, number 15. Then part 3, we're on Detective Comics 47. Then it's going to kick over to We Are Robin, number 7. Then Robin, Son of Batman, number 7. And then Robin War, number 2. So just to get the main story, okay? You're looking at, 6 issues there? 5 different books, 6 issues. If you want to get the tie-ins, you got to get Gotham Academy, number 13. Red Hood Arsenal, number 7. And then Teen Titans, number 15. What the fuck? That is just insane. And that's why that shit pisses people off. You know, I run into that shit a lot with the Green Lantern universe, and it's not really that big of a deal with me because I read a lot of the Green Lantern books. I mean, now it's not really even an issue because we don't have as many Green Lantern-based books as we did with, you know, New 52. Post 52, they cut down on a lot. But Batman, you know, holy shit. I mean, I just don't have that much of an interest in Robin. I've never really cared to have to get into Robin. I guess on the plus side, Robin does team up with, you know, Commissioner Gordon Batman, so I guess that's going to be kind of interesting. And I'll see how it goes, but I'm telling you right now, I'm resisting this, and I'm not going to buy into it. I don't even think I'm going to trade weight it, kind of like as a protest. I'm just really pissed at how they kind of just throw you right into it. And I don't believe that this will stand alone as a good standalone issue. You really have to, like, continue the story in the other issues, and it just pisses me off. And then even in the last page it says, you know, continues, story continues in We Are Robin number 7. So, just a bad move. Not cool. DC, not freaking cool. Not happy. Let me know what you guys think. Alright. Another Batman issue, and this is the final one of the week. Holy bat fuck. Batman Superman number 27. The story continues versus Vandal Savage. Some C-list villain who's thousands of years old. Needs to get uranium to power a sun that he has. He has this little mini sun. He's going to use this sun to power some sort of Nazi spaceship of all things. Not to fly the spaceship, mind you, but to operate the cannons that are on the spaceship. Vandal Savage, this story takes place in Siberia, and he's kind of enslaved a whole Siberian village to mine for this uranium. Lo and behold, Batman and Superman get sucked into this. Batman is teamed up, or Superman is teamed up with, I guess you would say, a gang of bats. You got Grayson in here, you got Red Hood, you got Batgirl. There's Batgirl there. And she's really helped out Superman in this. Like, she really saved Superman's ass. And there you got Red Hood and Grayson there. The twist in here is that Batman, Commissioner Gordon Batman, does not know, or Superman does not know who the new Batman is. He does not know that it's Commissioner Gordon. So that's kind of a twist. Commissioner Gordon Batman does not get along with Superman. They've had falling out. You got to read the previous issues. I can't recap everything for you guys. So it's kind of got like that intensity to it between them and their relationship. Like, Commissioner Gordon Batman straight up told Superman, get the hell out of Gotham and stay out. So that's kind of interesting. And then there's this whole other piece where Superman is kind of getting more and more vicious, and the gang of bats kind of gets into the play here to kind of pull Superman back a little bit, because Superman becomes uncharacteristically intense, and he ends up possibly killing some people, which is very, you know, antithesis of Superman. You know, it gets pretty close to that. So that's what's going on there. There's a little bit of battling there. Batman, Superman, Vandal Savage. I don't know. Vandal Savage is just, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. Not really feeling it, but still buying it because I'm so deep in it. Now, Catwoman number 47. Now, I am very, very curious about this. Genevieve Valentine is no longer writing this. This is a return to Catwoman's roots. Catwoman is going back to cat burglaring. She apparently caught wind of a Russian mobster who has a shitload of diamonds. She gets involved in a plot to thieve these diamonds, and it turns out, lo and behold, that she may have been set up because the police bust the mission. And I'm not going to tell you if she gets caught or not, but you get introduced to some different characters in here. You get introduced to this guy known as, oh my lord, what is his name? Louis the Mustache, who is the primary fence that Selina Kyle deals with in order to sell her stolen goods. And there they are enjoying a pizza. I kind of like Catwoman Selina Kyle with the smoky eyeshadow. She is looking sexier in this version than the Genevieve Valentine one. I don't know if that was a conscious decision by Genevieve Valentine to kind of tone that back a little bit. You know, previously in the Genevieve Valentine, it was all, you know, power suits and pantsuits for Selina Kyle. So here they've definitely sexed her up a little bit. And I'm enjoying the look. I'm definitely kind of enjoying the look. It's got a little bit of Harley Quinn in there. Anyway, she finds out that Louis the Mustache has stomach cancer. And she's clearly devastated. So, again, you know, they're kind of building on the theme that Selina Kyle is able to have, you know, pretty strong emotional relationships with people. I guess, you know, I'm going to see how this goes. This has a whole new team, like I said, of writers on here. It's Frank Thierry is doing the writing, and then Anaka Miranda is doing the artwork. But it still looks like the artwork from the other issues, so I don't really see that as a massive departure. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, and I'm hoping that it's not careful for what I wish for. In retrospect, I'm thinking I might have been a little bit too hard on the Genevieve Valentine writing, you know, Catwoman as crime boss. But I think it's going to serve as an interesting legacy for Catwoman, you know, as the head of the Genovese crime family in Gotham. You know, because I feel like it's something that they can always go back to and draw upon. And it does add quite a bit of layers to Selina Kyle, Catwoman character. So I guess we're going to have to see. We'll see. All right, Constantine, number 7. And this is another crossover-ish issue, although not really because there's no longer Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing was a casualty of post-convergence. Swamp Thing makes a big appearance in this book. The trees in New York, I guess, are killing people in parks. Lover's Lane, okay? So people are going, they're getting it on in the park, in public. You know, lots of people are into lots of different things. And I guess the trees are taking exception to that. Looks like there's nymphs, okay? Tree fairies. And they're tearing these people apart. Swamp Thing is on the case, people. And I guess he recruits Constantine. And there's kind of funny jokes in here. Constantine breaks Swamp Thing's balls and says, "What am I, like your second or third choice? Why are you getting me in on this?" There's Swamp Thing there. He actually makes an appearance, of all places, in Constantine's shower. The artwork of Riley Rossmo, who's doing the coloring, Ivan Palencia is doing the coloring, and Riley Rossmo is doing the artwork. Great pair, man. Great tandem, those two. I know them specifically from Rasputin, and that was the one saving grace of Image's Rasputin was the artwork. And same goes here. I mean, the artwork is just incredible. I'm loving how Swamp Thing looks in here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Constantine in this investigation. It also touches upon a little bit more of Constantine's bisexuality. He's one of the few characters that I know of, other than Catwoman, at least in the DC universe, that's bisexual. If anybody knows of any others, let me know. So that's kind of interesting. Kind of a big difference between Constantine being bisexual and Selina Kyle was that when Selina Kyle, it was discovered, was bisexual, there was kind of a lot of hoopla about it. It was definitely like a big deal. But I guess with Constantine, it's just kind of, oh, all right, he's bisexual. And yeah, I guess it's the way it should be, right? Not a big deal. All right, Star Wars #1, the annual. This does not continue any of the Vader Down stuff. Basically, this is, let me see here. It's not continuing any of the stories that are currently going on. Basically, there is a character, let me see here, rebel spy, Eneb Ray, has infiltrated Coruscant, working under an Imperial guise and the name Therius Demo. He quickly learns that some missions prove to be much more complicated than others. So the rebels have this spy who has infiltrated the Imperial Senate, and he's got to save the rest of the senators who are sympathetic to the rebel movement. That's essentially the storyline. And you get to see lots of good glimpses. Here is the rebel spy, kind of traversing buildings and stuff, en route to save these Imperial sympathizer senators. But you get a good dose of the Emperor in this, and he is kind of like one of the main dishes in this story. So it is kind of neat to see that. I think in Star Wars, they've never really developed, you know, the Emperor as the Emperor in any of their stories. So it is kind of cool to, you know, get more into his head and what his intentions are. And it's the first real Emperor-heavy story in the Marvel comic books. So I'm really looking forward to that. So lots of evil, sinister-looking faces of the Emperor, and you get to see more of a showcase of his powers. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. All right, so Star Wars Annual, $5, and that's the only Marvel book I got this week. Okay, Birthright, #2, Joshua Williamson. The story continues with little big brother Mikey. The story kind of shifts over to their father in the beginning of this book. Their father is in jail. He has been captured by the police. His father actually took off with his 2 sons. The mother stayed behind. You know, there's family problems here. The mother did not believe that Mikey was a small kid, okay? He went missing when he was a child. I don't know, he was about 4 or 5 years old. Went missing, went into the woods, disappeared into another dimension. When he came back a year later, he's a hulking brute. Kind of similar to Conan the Barbarian. Here he is in some street civilian clothing. But for the longest time, he did look like Conan the Barbarian, trust me, with his muscles blaring out in the open. Mom didn't believe that story. Dad did. You know, they told Dad, oh, I gotta, you know, fight this evil presence. And I can't remember what the name of it is. See how hard it is to remember when you haven't read a book in like a month? Anyway, Mikey is possessed by certain powers. I forget what it's called, but it is a big fight that is within him. It's kind of like possessed him in a way. And lo and behold, it is starting to take effect on his brother. That was kind of revealed in the last couple issues, that his brother is starting to hear this voice of the presence, and it's kind of telling the brother to do things. You know, don't trust Mikey. Mikey is up to no good. You're going to have to do something about it. There's a huge reveal in this, too. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it kind of comes out of left field. One of the villains that has been trailing Mikey has been under our nose the whole time. And I got to say, I was truly surprised by it. So, Birthright, check it out. If you like high fantasy, that's definitely the way to go. All right, more high fantasy, Monstrous. Last month, this debuted, Image Comics. Margaret Liu is the writer. Sana Takeda is the artist. This debuted last month with a no advertisement 66-page bargain. I gotta say, Image does that from time to time. They give you an issue, an unbelievable issue. What a treat for the fans. And I think it was like $5. So, a triple issue for $5, no ads. How can you go wrong? This has got massive characterization and world building in it. I'm going to read you guys the summary that Marjorie Liu wrote because, she's a great writer and I can't sum it up as good as she can. So here we go. The story so far. In the aftermath of a devastating war, tensions between humans and hybrid archonics are higher than ever. In the Federation, captured archonics are sold to the highest bidder in a vibrant slave trade. The Kumeya, powerful but fully human witch nuns, experiment on those slaves behind the walls of their stronghold in the city Zamora, extracting precious, life-giving lilium from archaic bodies. Meika Half-Wolf, an archonic survivor of the war, is looking for both revenge and answers. She has recently developed terrible powers and an equally terrible hunger, all of which she believes is connected to a conspiracy involving her mother and her mother's murder. Makia believes her friend Tuya, I'm probably pronouncing all of these wrong, and allows herself to be sold into slavery to infiltrate the Kumeyan stronghold. Once inside, she frees the other prisoners and storms the compound, destroying everything and everyone in her wake, including the mysterious Yvette, who possesses both memories of Makia's mother and a fragment of a mask imbued with an unknown power. Mask fragment in tow, Makia escapes Zamora with 2 archaic children, but just when they've reached the sanctity of the forest, that terrible hunger overtakes her once more. So kind of similar to Birthright in a way, this woman is possessed by a certain presence that is just fueling her to do certain things. And I gotta say, this is just, the artwork is incredible. I am loving the artwork. It's just its whole world unto itself. It's got creepy stuff in here. These witches are very, very creepy. It even has talking, 2-tailed cats, which are very mysterious and mischievous. There's a picture of that there. So if you ever had a fancy for a talking 2-tailed cat, you're going to get your fill in here. So check it out, man. If they still have that issue number 1 of Monstrous in your comic book shop, support it, man. You have to support the good deals. You have to support the $5 triple 66-page issue with no ads. And, DC gives us, DK3 for $6, and it's like half the size of that. Just saying. I'm just saying, for comparison's sake. As much as I love DC, oh my God, I hate those bastards too sometimes, just the stuff that they do. All right, Abe Sapien, number 29. Lots of developments in this issue. You see this girl on the front, and she has the handprint on her forehead. Can you make that out? There's debate as to whether this is the path of the left hand, someone putting it on there, or face palm right hand. It's kind of a cool joke in there. Anyway, here's more of this girl here. I love the artwork of Max Fumiara. He does a great Abe Sapien. She speaks like Ogdru Hem, I'm going to call it. That's often the language that we see with the Ogdru Hem. You kind of got to figure a lot of things out with this girl's mother and her facial expressions. So it's kind of interesting. Kind of like a whole Chewbacca thing going on. We kind of figure out lots of things that Chewbacca is saying, and it's kind of interpreted through the girl. That same kind of thing here. But apparently this young girl has a lot of information regarding Abe Sapien's purpose in this whole end of the world thing that's going on. There's starting to be some big tie-ins too to B.P.R.D. Apparently Panya, the mummy character, has something to do with this girl, that she can kind of figure some things out as well. Abe has to go with her on a journey. Abe Sapien's wife from his former life, he used to be Landon Everett Call. Those of you that read the book will know what I'm talking about. Abe Sapien used to be a man. He was transformed into Abe Sapien. His dead wife makes an appearance in this. It is just creepy. It is eerie. She comes out of the grave. Abe has been haunted by her for so long. There's her rotting corpse, kind of just teasing him. Edith Call, my wife. There she is, trying to get him to stay. So I'm interested to see what connections that may have to Abe Sapien's past. So it's kind of cool that we're learning a ton about Abe Sapien's past, but we are also venturing into the future and getting pieces of, you know, what is his purpose in this whole, like, end of the world event that's going on in, you know, the B.P.R.D. series as well. I'm just scared, man. I hope that we don't lose Abe Sapien, because the one thing about Mike Mignola and his books is that when he kills off a fucking character, they're dead, man. They're not there. They don't get resurrected from the grave. You might see them once in a while in a flashback, or like Hellboy is right now, literally in hell. But there have been a number of characters, you know, Captain Damo, what was it, Roger the Homunculus, beloved characters that have been killed, and that's it. I mean, this is like Walking Dead fucking status. You know what I mean? Walking Dead status. When a character gets killed off in that series, they're fucking dead. You know? Except maybe with this whole Glenn thing. But you saw how pissed off people were when they did think Glenn was dead, because how many characters in the Walking Dead series have gotten killed, and your jaw just drops. I mean, and that's what these, you know, this series does, and Mike Mignola's universe does. And that's why I love this so much. And I encourage you guys to check out B.P.R.D. Check out Abe Sapien. Buy the Plague of Frogs, you know, omnibuses. Look at this thing. $25 cover price, but you can get it online for $15. Huge stuff, man. I mean, amazing stuff. I can't tell you guys enough how much I love B.P.R.D. and Abe Sapien. Abe, who is a member of B.P.R.D. But just trust me on that, alright? Trust me. Alright, and finally, Cullen Bunn, one of my favorite writers, Harrow County, number 8, the story of Emma and her sister Allie continues, and it's a tale of two cities. Look at, oh my god, I'm messing up who is who. Look at Emmy. Emmy's the good one, I think. Emmy is kind of assembling her army of haints. It's another name for, like, creepy crawlies. And in the last issue, her sister was rounding up the haints of Harrow County, and a lot of them are much more nefarious and evil. And it seems that it's headed for a showdown between the two sisters. You have Emmy, the country bumpkin, who is just learning about her powers, and her sister, who seems to have known about these powers all along, and she's from the city. They're both offspring of a witch. Their mother was a witch. Here they are, kind of dueling it out. Tyler Crook is an amazing artist, man. He does all the artwork in this. I love, like, the watercolor feel, the watercolor look. They're headed for a showdown, and it's interesting to see where this is headed and what their intentions are. There's the creatures kind of coming out of the woodwork, some of them. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win, and I don't know if their mother, their dead witch mother, who was hung from a tree in Emmy's backyard, is going to make an appearance. She may. I mean, there's things coming out of the ground, kind of Reminds me of the Evil Dead when those vines came to life and were pulling him places, ripping him apart. I can't wait. Harrow County is a great book. My only regret is, that might be a giveaway there. My only regret is that it's too short. Also in the series, similar to Plutonia, they do give another mini story in each one. This one is a one-page story called Tales of Harrow County Mold. And I don't know, it's like the mold comes to life off the wall and forms a man. Like my moldy camera. Alright guys, I'm going way freaking over. That's Philly Cuts. Let me pick my cover of the week. Let me know guys what you're liking, what you're disliking this week. You know, this week's tough, man. There was a lot of awesome covers this week. A lot of awesome covers. I was going to go with Harrow County, but I'm going to go with Catwoman because I'm just so happy she's Outback cat burglar. I can't talk this week. Alright guys, let me know what you got. Alright, peace. See ya. Bye.